Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? We're working on ending generational trauma. We're empowering survivors and we're giving them the tools to ultimately transform their trauma into triumph. You're one of the speakers at Unbroken Con. I'm very excited for you and what you're going to be talking about. But I want to start off with this quote that we put on the website from you. It says, in a world of wounded children walking around in adult bodies, we have the opportunity to say, this ends with me. Gloria, like, what does that mean to you? And why is that so important?
That's actually one of the first quotes I ever heard about inner child work. And as soon as I heard that, everything just made sense. You know, do you guys remember back when you were in school and the students around you all had normal families and they had like normal Thanksgivings and normal Christmases? And I used to daydream about what it used to feel like to just have like a normal childhood growing up. And I think, especially a lot of your audience, we never really had that experience. Right. And so, what I mean by that quote is when we didn't get that childhood that we really deserved, that stays with us like in our 20s and 30s or 40s. And we literally become these wounded adults, right? Walking around with this inner child still inside. And to me, this just perfectly explains what inner child work is all about because those dreams, they never really go away. And the great news is by learning about this inner child work, you can give yourself the experience and the opportunity to live out the things that you've always wanted to when you were a kid, especially if those opportunities were taken away from you because of trauma.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that struck me most about this, and this is the way that I think about this, right? I've had so many people reach out to me like, what, why are you doing such a big conference? Why is it free? How did you get all these incredible speakers? And I'm like, because this ends with me. Right. And I think we all have a individual and societal responsibility to
Mm.
be like, yo, let's end this. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to break this cycle. We are going to be the people that change this forever. And I think one of the things people get stuck on so often, Gloria, is they're like, it's not for me. I'm not going to
Mhm.
be the one. It's for somebody else. But when we go to Unbroken Con, you're going to be talking about unlocking the superpowers of that lost inner
Yeah.
child. And I think that's so incredibly important. And guys, if you have not registered, you need to go right now to
Mhm.
unbrokencon.com to sign up. You get a watch for free wherever you are in the world. And trust me when I say you're going to want to get VIP because the things that Gloria is going to break down are things that you're going to need to learn more than once. Like, you're going to need your notebook. You're going to need to watch this multiple times. And when you get the VIP access, you'll get the recordings for life. Again, you don't have to. We made this free for a purpose. But if you're like me, I don't know about you, Gloria, but whenever I watch anything the
Mhm.
first time, I'm like, I did not understand
Yeah.
anything they just said. And so I'm wondering, talk to us about what, not the how. Obviously, we'll get into the how during Unbroken Con, but what does it mean to unlock those superpowers? Like, what is that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And first of all, if you're the kind of person thinking that you can't be the one to break this generational cycle, if not you, then who? Like
Preach.
right? Like who's going to be the one to do it, right? If the thought is in your head, it means it's meant for you. And that's, I think, where the superpowers part really comes into play. And I really believe that all of us have a superpower that we haven't quite uncovered yet inside our inner child. So when you think back to what the inner child is, right, it's basically the essence of you. It's the part of you that has always existed before the trauma, before the conditioning from society, like before the rules and the regulations and the conditioning and the beliefs. That's still inside you somehow. And if you think about the times in your life when you have felt the most free, for some people, it's after a drink of wine, right? Then they let lip. For other people, it's when they go to a party or when they're in meditation or when they're in a creative flow. You literally tap into that superpower, that inner child during these moments of flow. And when you can uncover the bits and pieces of who you actually are, right? Before and without all the stuff that happened to you, that can literally power all of your creativity. That can power your passion. And that can be a driving force in your life. And you may not even realize yet. And it just excites me so much to talk about because, for me, I knew that on some level deep down, there was like a little girl that was so creative and so smart and just like loved to take on new challenges. And she was so artistic, but all of that was buried by layers and layers of trauma and people telling me that I shouldn't act this way or I shouldn't speak up too much or I should be quieter or I should be obedient, right? That literally like destroyed my superpower, at least I thought, before I was able to work through those layers and really connect with the little girl that I still am, 31, 32 years later. And I truly believe that when you do the inner child work, you can feel more like a kid now, whether it's in your 40s or 50s than you actually did when you were a kid. And by unlocking those parts of you, you can become a full human being.